everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Spiritual Superpowers. I'm Dawn. This is Karen. And we have an episode for you today that we thought would be really helpful at this time of year. When this video is airing, it's going to be at the end of 2021. And we thought we would demonstrate a technique that we can use to kind of let things go from the past so that we are open to receive in the new year.
And there's a lot of different ways that you can release things, but we're going to talk about one really great technique today called cord cutting.
Now, I was thinking it would be beneficial for me to do a cord cutting ceremony, and I thought I would share it with everyone because I am divorced, and my ex-husband is a wonderful human being, but we reached the end of our time together and it was time to move on. But because he is so fantastic, it actually reminds me of the movie Eat, Pray, Love, or the book Eat, Pray, Love. If you remember Julia Roberts, her husband was lovely as well, and that's kind of how Kelly is, and she just couldn't do it anymore. So she left, but in the end, you get to see a video of him walking with a baby and married to someone else, and he moved on and he's happier. And that's what I really want for my ex-husband too. And I find that I want him to be happy so much that it's actually probably not healthy. And I wonder if I maybe have an energetic cord still tied to him, because I do care about him.
Yeah.
I just want him to be happy. But I don't know if my care could be limiting him energetically from being open to meeting someone or anything like that. So I thought it would be beneficial for me and for Kelly to do a cord cutting ceremony, especially going into the new year. And it just so happens that from a witchy standpoint, it's best to do this ceremony when the moon is waning. So when this video comes out, it'll be waning. So I thought it would be also a good timing that way.
Yeah, but it makes sense that, because you were married a lot of years, that, that energetic cord, may be difficult to cut even if you've tried in the past. So it kind of does make sense. But I think the reason we want to do cord cutting is it's not to remove those people from our lives, and that's not the intention with cord cutting. It is to create more balance in the energy that we're giving out to that person, and I think that's what you're explaining. So we just need to balance it. It's not like we're removing a person or a thing from our lives by doing cord cutting. We're just balancing the energy.
Yeah, exactly. And it helps to allow you to move forward. We think about it as possibly like an old ball and chain. It can hold us back or drain our energy, right?
Yes.
So it's a good idea when something isn't serving us anymore, to cord cut. And it allows both parties or both places or both things to move on.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about two different ways to do it, because Karen happened to do a cord cutting meditation yesterday. So why don't you tell everyone what that was like?
So I had a CT scan yesterday, and for a lot of the viewers that follow us, you know that I have been dealing with cancer for a while now, and so it's always a little nerve-wracking leading up to those CT scans, and so prior to the scan I did a cord cutting meditation with cancer, and all the health professionals that I've been dealing with over the last several years, just because I want in 2022 to move away from all of that. I had a lot of great people, health professionals helping me, and some great and some not so great, but I really want to move past it. And I felt it was necessary to do this cord cutting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Actually, why don't we talk about some of the reasons why it would be good to cord cut? Because that is a really good one, especially just the fact that you felt like it too.
Right.
That's something, remember, it's your inner voice speaking to you. But I have a list here from a great blog post from Insight Timer, which is one of our favorite meditation apps. And that's actually where you found the cord cutting meditation that you did yesterday, right?
Yes.
So they have here that some of the signs of unhealthy cording is your energy levels are depleted. Your feelings are generally leathery or depressive, or you have unexplained sadness. You feel like you're stuck. That's a good one. You observe thoughts about another person, or you're judging another person, or you're feeling depleted by another person. You have lower immune system or getting sick often. And you have just other unhealthy and addictive behaviors. So you're seeking comfort, whether it's through like some of the things that I deal with, like food addiction and binge eating, drinking, drugs, or over exercising. So, you know, it's a good thing, I think, to go over some of the things that we might not even think that cord cutting can be useful for.
Yeah. And I think if we recall back to the episode we did on Huna, we talked about there how cord cutting needs to be done fairly regularly. You know, just thinking of all the energetic cords. Remember, you had been cut off by that truck on your bike earlier that week, and so recognizing that we really need to do this regularly, like, and especially if we notice some of those signs that you just mentioned. Yeah, and the other thing is, we don't just cord cut with people, right? You can do cord cutting, as I mentioned, you know, with an illness or with a state of health. You can do cord cutting with a place, you know, if you're attached to a place. And you know, obviously most commonly people, but there's other things that you can do.
And things too. I mean, a lot of times people will lose or break something and have a really hard time and get over that. And you can cord cut for that as well, right? So you did your meditation on Insight Timer.
Yes. So this one was interesting because it was a cord cutting meditation with archangels. And so I will do a cord cutting meditation on my own, but I thought, let's try something a little different. So I looked on Insight Timer and I found this one, cord cutting with archangels, and I like the sounds of that. And what happened was, so, you know, I got into, you know, a meditative space and then put this guided meditation on. In my case, I visualized the cords between my illness and all the kind of doctors and health care professionals kind of over on the other side. And I visualized all these cords of energy going to them. And then you bring in Archangel Michael, which is the archangel of protection. And you visualize him taking his sword and he severs all the cords for you, which was kind of fun. And then you bring in Archangel Raphael. And Raphael is the archangel of healing. So, you know, because you are cutting these cords, you visualize him covering you with green healing light, both sides, right? And then finally you envision Archangel Chamuel, who is the archangel of peaceful relationships. So you imagine him, you know, just kind of the space where these cords were cut, you imagine him creating, you know, just loving vibes in that space. Which was it was a really beautiful meditation.
That sounds really nice. Yeah. And how did you feel afterwards? Did you feel?
Yeah, no, I felt good. I went to that CT scan, you know, whatever, in and out, no worry. Yeah, good. It was good.
Yay. Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. And so I'm going to do a demonstration of a cord cutting ritual. And so you're welcome to do a meditation, but I thought it would be fun to show, one of my rituals that I do. Something for anyone who is curious and wants to give it a try. All right, so the first step we do is, as with any type of energy work, we always clear the space. So I'm going to smudge the area, smudge the tiny house, and clear both Caron and I's auras before we get to any of the work. And then Caron's sister Jill gave me this amazing aura cleanser. So it is pretty much essential oils, some salt, and some crystals. And then we just cleanse, ground. All right, I'm gonna do the same thing to you, Caron. All right, so I have some yarn with me. After we've set the place, I'm going to actually bind my feet and my hands together. And as I'm doing this, I am saying with intention, this rope represents my connection with Kelly. I'm going to do my hands. This cord represents my energetic connection to Kelly. Now, there's a few options here. I personally like to send love into the cords. I'm visualizing loving energy, white energy going into the cords. There are other rituals where if you're having trouble moving past something, you can visualize the not so nice memories and put that energy into these cords. But since I'm all about love, I send love into them. And I really want to make sure that I am ready and committed to let go. I understand that it's not serving either of us. Okay. And now I'm going to cut the cord. So I release Kelly. I release my ties to Kelly. And I release my energy connection. So now I take this rope and we're going to do a little ritual. I put it in my little cauldron. I have a black candle here that I'm going to light. And with this fire, I'm going to light this on fire and allow it to burn. So with everything burned down, now I'm going to take it outside, away from my space, bury it in the earth, and then I'll seal it with a little bit of Reiki and just wish it well, walk away. And then that's how I cord cut. All right, so there's cord cutting for you. Hopefully you can, give it a try. It honestly, really takes a weight off, especially with the intention. Yeah. And it's amazing how little you'll think about the thing or the person or the place afterwards.
Yeah.
And I'm very curious just to see what happens on the other end. Yeah. So maybe we'll do a follow-up.
Yeah, we'll keep you posted.
Yeah. So thank you so much for spending this time with us today. And we hope that you liked the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up for us, please.
And subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss another episode.
And as we close out 2021, we hope that this video finds you happy, healthy, and that you get to spend time with your loved ones over the holiday season.
Yeah. And that you can cut the cords. With some people, they don't want to spend. No, don't.
Yep. And if you have to spend the holidays with people you don't want to spend holidays with, remember to cut the cords. Oh, spreading holiday cheer right here.
Exactly.
All right. Well, thank you so much for watching, and we look forward to seeing you next week.
Bye-bye.